Yo, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another Steam 2 video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a build for the Warlock that's going to be much better once the new update actually hits on Tuesday. So we're going to be getting a couple of changes to some underperforming exotics, and one of them is the finalys agur, the exotic from the latest dungeon. This thing, well, was pretty fun. It was kind of weak. So Bungie's giving it a bunch of changes to try to make it better, and I think that it will actually be better, not only because of the increased damage, like reloading every time that you place on your turret. So today I'm going to be showing you guys my favorite build to run with this exotic, which is the automatic Warlock build essentially, that utilizes pretty much every single buddy that we have on Prismatic to have as many things shooting for us out there, and just having a bunch of like little teammates helping us. You're essentially just going to become a one-man army with this, and it's really good in like any sort of content. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you do, remember to like and subscribe to the channel in case you guys haven't already. Also follow me on Twitch, we've been streaming a lot over there. So if you want to see me use this build live, or you just want to see me play some other Destiny things, make sure you guys follow me on Twitch. And now let's get into it, and first let's start with our exotics. Now for our exotic weapon, of course it's going to be the star of the show, the finalys agur, and with this we're going to be trying to make as many turrets as possible. I didn't really shoot it normally too often, sometimes maybe to like stop a champion, but one really cool thing about this weapon is that the turret can also stun champions. And if you do proc unstoppable in your weapon, if the turret hits the champion, it will also stun it. So technically you don't even need to actually fire this weapon ever normally if you don't want to. You can just keep using it for putting out more turrets. Since each turret costs 3 ammo, you can actually put a lot of them out there. And I always kind of find it easiest to just shoot the turret up in the air, so it has a pretty good line of sight on pretty much anything. And make sure that you mark some of those bigger targets like champions or mini bosses, so the turret goes into its like overdrive mode where it just fires a lot more. The normal turret is fine for ads, but you definitely want that extra damage for some of the bigger enemies. Now for the exotic piece of armor, we are of course going to be on the Getaway Artist. Since this build is all about buddies, the Getaway Artist was just like the clear choice. And so it gives us the arc buddy, so it constantly makes us amplified, increasing our survivability, and we just want to consume our grenade as much as we can, so we can constantly have that arc soul. Now for the subclass, we are going to be on the Prismatic WARLOCK, and I recommend that you go with the Song of Flame Super, just because this thing is crazy in any type of like endgame content. You essentially become unkillable once you start popping your Song of Flame and actually getting in there. For your class ability, I recommend the Phoenix Dive. It's going to be a very easy way to heal, and we're also going to have it up very often. For your melee, Arcane Needles work is fine, but you can technically go with any of them. And then for the grenade, you want to go with the Storm Grenade, so our exotic can actually work. Without the Storm Grenade, we cannot get the Arc Buddy. Now for the aspects, this is where we're going to pick up 2 more buddies to add to our buddy army. It's going to be Bleak Watcher, so every time that we consume our grenade, we become amplified and have an Arc Buddy. We're also going to be dropping a Stasis Turret. And then Helium, which is going to be our solar buddy, that's constantly going to be applying Scorch and also leading to some ignitions. And this is the reason that I actually wanted you to go with Phoenix Dive, since we can activate it a lot more often, meaning that we can have a lot more uptime on our Helium and just constantly have as many buddies out there as possible. So with these 2 aspects, you pretty much just want to keep spamming your class ability, keep spamming your consuming of the grenades, so we can just constantly have them up, so they can constantly be doing damage, like freezing enemies, causing ignitions, scorching targets, and just building up that transcendence energy. Now for the fragments, you want to go fast at dawn, so you can get some extra damage in your weapons whenever you hit something with your power melee. We're going to be spamming our melees quite a bit with this build, so having a bit of extra damage on our weapons is always going to be nice, especially because that damage does affect our turret. After that, we're going to have the Facet of Purpose. This will make it so we get restoration every time we pick up some more power, you add in a bit more survivability. After that, we're going to have the Facet Protection. This again for more survivability. Every time that we're surrounded by 3 or more targets, we gain some damage resistance. We're going to have damage resistance from this, as well as from the Amplified, meaning that we're just going to be a lot tankier, and we're going to be able to take a lot more damage. You're pretty much always going to have this if you're taking this into like an endgame activity. Next, we're going to have Facet of Devotion. Every time that we defeat some targets affected by stasis or strand debuffs, we gain some bonus like Transcendence energy. This so we can build up that Transcendence even faster. And with the turret and our melee just constantly applying debuffs, this is something that we can take advantage very often. And the other one is Facet of Sacrifice, meaning that whenever we have an Arc, Solar, or Void buff, we gain bonus Darkness Transcendence energy. Again, just to try to get more Transcendence energy, so we can just spam our Transcendence a lot more. And lastly, we're going to have the faceted mending, meaning that every time that we get a find a blow with a grenade, it will cure us. This doesn't apply to the turret, so every time the arc buddy gets a kill, we won't really heal, but it does apply to our Transcendence grenades, and since we're going to be spamming Transcendence a lot of time, this is something that we can definitely take advantage of. Now for the things you want to pair up on this build, I really like the aberrant action with this build, especially we have heal clip on it, just because it gives you a bit more survivability. Since we're going super into arc buddies, we don't have the Devour as easily as we can on pretty much any other Prismatic Warlock class. So because of that, we definitely want a bit more healing, and heal clip gives us a very consistent way to just constantly heal. We're not really going to have our linear out that much. We basically put it out there for the turret, mark something with the turret, and then we switch over to our sidearm and then just continue killing things with our sidearm. Now for the artifact here, we don't really have too many that we really need. You want Particle Deconstruction, so our fusion rifle can actually do more damage. You want Dreadful Finisher, so you can always get some special every time that you finish one of those bigger enemies. And you also want Gold from Lead, so you can get some heavy ammo, possibly from all those special bricks. Since we want to spam our heavy weapon just as much as we can, we definitely want to get as much heavy as we can possibly get. And then of course, you definitely want Unstoppable Fusion Rifle, so you can actually stop those champions. But those are pretty much going to be like the only ones that you need. Everything else is really going to be optional, and it's going to be up to you. Now let's look at the armor mods that are running on this build. First of all, for the helmet, we're going to have Heavy Ammo Finder, as well as Harmonic Siphon. Since both our sidearm and our linear are both solar weapons, we just want to make more orbs when we get kills with them. And then the Heavy Ammo Finder is just so, again, we can spam our heavy ammo just a lot more, so we can always have that turret up. For the gauntlets, we're going to keep it pretty simple with Impact Induction, Momentum Transfer, and Focusing Strike. So whenever we do some damage with our abilities, it recharges the other abilities, so we can just keep the ability spam going. For the chest piece, you want to go with Harmonic Reserves. This is going to give you more ammo for your linear as well as your sidearm. So this is going to be really nice since we're just going to be spamming both of those. And then you want something that matches whatever the threat is. Since the threat was Void this week in the GMs, they had Void on my chest piece, but that's going to change depending on what the threat is. So make sure that you check the threat before getting into any like endgame activity, especially if it has like a threat, and just kind of match it to that. And then the last one, Concussive Dampener, is just really good in any activity. For the boots, again, we're going to keep it pretty simple. We have Recuperation, also Restoration, and Absolution, meaning that every time they pick up an overpower, we're going to heal, as well as get some more abilities back faster. And lastly, for our class item, we're going to have Reaper, Bomber, and Outreach. So whenever we use our class ability, we're going to create more orbs, as well as being able to get our melee and our grenade back. And with that, that's pretty much going to be all of the build, boys. Now you can go into any activity and essentially use be a one-man army. Now, when it comes to like the gameplay loop for this build, it is going to be very simple. You want to consume your grenade, you want to use your class ability, and then you want to just fire off your turret into the sky. Just by doing those three things, you're going to have 4 buddies just helping you constantly, allowing you to be that one-man army. For your turret for the fusion rifle, remember to always mark some of those bigger targets like champions. Usually you can do a lot more damage to them. The normal turret is going to be enough for some of those smaller ads, but for some of those bigger ones, you definitely want to mark them so your turret can shoot faster and just get more damage out there on them. Now, it is going to run out of ammo faster whenever you do that, so it won't stay up as long, but it is definitely worth it because you just kill the bigger enemies a lot faster. And every now and then, whenever your turret is up, you just want to make sure that you check if the turret's still up, and if it's not, you just fire up another one. Besides that, you pretty much just want to keep consuming your grenade, you're going to keep using your Phoenix Dive, so you can just keep refreshing some of the other buddies. And whenever you're doing all of this, you're going to be getting tons, and I really do mean tons, of use Transcendence energy. Whenever your Transcendence is full, make sure that you use it, since you're going to be getting it back really quickly. And when you're in Transcendence, throwing a bunch of grenades out there, and then your 3 different or 4 different buddies are just out there doing tons of damage, you feel unkillable. And this is just a very fun build, so hopefully you guys enjoy it, and definitely give it a try tomorrow once some of these buffs actually go into effect. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Leave a like if you did, there's a like if you didn't, subscribe to the channel in case you guys are already. Like always, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about it, and if you're gonna give it a try, or if you don't have the exotic yet, make sure that you definitely go get it next time that you can, so you can actually try out this build. Anyways, thank you for watching, have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care everyone, peace.